Hello guys. So it is good to start on another comic. Today we're going to be looking at making another comic similar to the last video. This is in the same universe, so we're starting back with this template, and as you see, I've already named it what I plan for it to be called. And soon you're gonna actually see these being posted on Instagram and maybe some other social media factors. So this time we're gonna change a few things. You won't be needing this. We're gonna wanna keep this bench, right? But we don't want it to be the same style. So the premise of this is gonna be around having someone over, but this is 2020 and this person is not a customer, but they are a friend. Whoops, didn't mean to shrink that. So this isn't like wine and beer, but just a glass of water. And I don't know, I feel like I want a female this time, because in most of them it's like a male, and you know, that's fine. I might even make it 2 females just to shake it up a bit. And I'm going to be referring back to this image. So we kind of have a little background. Someone is visiting a friend and asks for a glass of water. The friend is reluctant because of COVID, but gives it anyways. After the person finishes it, the friend host smashes a glass on the floor. So these are like always like 4 boxes, maybe 3 boxes, because sometimes I would join these 2 together. So basically, guys, today's focus is going to be more like on converting things to fit more with your theme. So I'm not going to have a high top table like we're in Applebee's. I'm going to make this table lower for starters. Annoyingly, I had not grouped this person, and the thing is, I will be changing her in ways, so just to save you some time that I'm not saving myself right now, I would recommend for you guys to just group things more. Even if I had just grouped the mouth as a joint object, it does save time. It's like a double-edged thing though, because as you see in her arms, it's very easy for me when they're not grouped for me to like change the way her arms are gonna to fold, if she needs to hold something or not. So there is a reason I don't always do that. It is hard not to miss everything, but I'm gonna do this. This is a little thing you can do. I'm gonna make these a group right now. And yeah, it's in a strange place, but I can go into isolation mode, which you could do just by double clicking and put them where I want them anyways. And when they're in isolation mode, even if you had, like you just saw, those 2 objects over there, you can move them, and then after you're outside of it, they'll all move together. But anyways, I'm gonna have to ungroup that at one point because she's not in a restaurant. She won't have the menu in her hand. But there you go. This was like her stomach, because this shape, this form has played different characters. One had a belly top on. This one will not be needing that. But here we go. So I'm gonna make the legs of this table a different color, maybe a little more chic, maybe the kind of wood color you might see in other houses. And yeah, of course, you can see pine, like light wood, and you will see that as well. But the point is, I want this to have like more of a vibe of a coffee table in a sitting room, in opposed to a booth in a restaurant. So I thought this would be a good way of looking at it. And last time we went from that perspective too. We went from the perspective of, okay, how do we make this have a different vibe? Because again, we worked on a template. But I really wanted to go even more into that, because I feel like there's something that can be learned about that. Just looking at how to adapt to something that's already there, in opposed to just creating something from scratch. You can make it however you want. And yeah, this is better than doing it all from scratch. It's easier, should I say, because like I said, the design language is pretty consistent by this point. But yeah, there are some things that definitely make a different kind of impression. So okay, I'm gonna stick with this for now. It is like a pretty bold color, but the point is we're gonna have it's a little decorated. It's gonna be a little homier. So instead of this wood slab, let's go for like a gray carpet or something. Maybe not gray. I don't know. The funny thing is, I've just started like decorating, guys. Like, we've recently moved, and this time I've been getting all my own furniture, and I'm like kind of got that cap on right now too. We might have wood floors. Yeah, maybe those kind of, maybe it's going to be similar to the bench. Maybe I'll even steal the bench's color, because I quite actually like that fur. I like how it looks on the wall back. But let's try that. But now we're going to change this from this high top chair into a sofa. So I'm going to shorten these legs, because I don't think I've ever seen a sofa that has legs this long. And as you see, I just grabbed both of those and then adjusted their size at the same time. It's very easy to do. And it makes more sense in doing them one at a time, which seems obvious, but sometimes you can not do that. Like, I remember just focusing on, like, say I was here, focusing on this. I'm like, oh yeah, but that has to be the exact same height. And I got distracted. I didn't really consider it when I should have. So this cushion kind of shape may still work for the sofa, but the color is too similar to the wallpaper. So I'm gonna change that up. What sofas have I been seeing? Could even just be like a classic black. And as you see, I kind of did an off black. It's actually like a very dark green. Now putting a little more thought into it, maybe a very dark blue would be nice, or that one. And I'm just making this up. Like, you know, this isn't really something that has a right color scheme or not. I mean, you could just have like you could have a really badly, or like you could think for your personal taste, it's a badly designed sitting room. That's fine. But there's no rules. We're not like really going to like impress. We're not actually decorating a living room. All we need to be worried about is whether it does in fact remind us of a living room. Does it pass for a living room? And that's gonna be the more important thing to do here. So I think even like that shape does look more like, when you compare it to this, shorter legs, it looks more like a sofa now. And now if I'm just gonna think, I'm gonna think, what other things can I do to make that? So first I'm gonna make her seated more proportionately. And it can be a low back sofa, but I'm gonna make it a little higher. And I think that I will put some little details. Whoops. What I meant to do was select this. And usually when I select it and just have the line across, I put a default color. Because it can get fidgety when you just try and change the color straight away. It might not do it. It might change the main color. So I would suggest click whatever default color has, then edit it. I'm going to properties, stroke. Ooh, let's try 6. What does 6 look like? 6 looks okay. I don't hate it. This guy has to match. Still don't hate it. And these aren't your finishing touches. I actually am gonna lower it. I've halved it, guys. I think it's subtler. Because as you see with this design language, it's not highly outlined. It's outlined for some features. They're not huge lines. Not all the features are outlined. So I'm always, whenever I'm doing these things, I'm keeping in mind, does this fit? Okay, so as you guys know, there will not be beer in here. There will not be a menu involved. And now we're in isolation mode. Good thing is we can move these around more freely. And I'm just gonna make this a lot more relaxed, right? So this person is at their friend's house right now. And, you know, let's make it a little more informal. Maybe even like, should we have the arm out? It's too far from the sofa. Okay, let's just kind of make her have her arms kind of resting on her legs. Just doing this with a clicky mouse, but when you zoom in, and on my PC, that's just Control plus button. Max, you can zoom with your fingers or do the same control I just did. More precision. I see where they're going together. Cool. So, arms a little awkwardly laid. I think I'll move it all a little bit. Move this a little bit outward again. Yeah, but that's okay. So, really, I'm kind of gonna think, this is how we usually do the comics. We get a base idea, we refine it. So I'm refining it. I'm trying to refine it in my head right now. So we know this is gonna be water. Gonna change that right now. But I'm trying to think of like how exactly this exchange would look. Like how exactly would it look? Basically, the host here does not really want to give the friends some water because it's 2020 COVID-19 and we're playing a bit on some of the issues that arose. Like, I know that certainly since this year I have been way more focused on what I should or shouldn't be touching and how to act around other people in a way I never was before. So I am in isolation mode again, guys. I've got the speech bubble. And I'm going to go down to transform and reflect. Ta-da! Ooh, I do like that. You see it's on vertical. And you can get a little preview so you know exactly what you're doing. You know you're not going to accidentally do that and have to go into it and change it again. But this is what I want. And we're going to start with this guy just offering his friend, and it might be a her soon, but I'm going to focus on some other parts of the scene, a drink. Oops. Would you like? Now, it's a funny exchange, okay? But what I'm thinking right now is how can I make this like obvious why this is like a little uncomfortable, like, and I think I might give her a mask. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think it is like more obvious, and maybe after you guys see more of these comics, you might actually feel like, oh yeah, I know why they did that. But for now, I'm gonna make it really obvious. Okay, so as you see, the mask is behind her head, and that is literally because I have it on another layer. So I'm gonna press Control and X to just cut that, and I'm gonna make sure it's on the same layer here. That is one issue about reusing a different thing for a different purpose. All my labels are different. My layers were planned for before, but honestly, I don't find it like so much of a big deal. And we've already had one comic that was like a little sneak peek last time, and we had a plain old white mask, but you know, we're well into the year now, and I know that they have different colored ones, so I'm gonna go for that. You know, why not? Let's make it like matching. I know people do that. I know I try and do that when I can. Sorry about that. It's kind of strange. I'm recording differently now. I often would record after the fact when I'm looking over, and this time I'm recording alongside, so it might seem a little different this time to you guys. I'm not sure if you will be able to tell. Let's go for let's go for that, because I'm actually planning for her to wear something different. And yeah, I'm not gonna pretend they're like exactly matching, but why don't we make them like pretty close? Yeah, how about that? And yeah, I don't know if it will be like the exact same dress. Maybe it will. I don't mind it being the same dress. I'm just gonna eye drop the sleeves here. Yeah, because as you see, this is really not a complicated format. And this time I'm gonna do things a little differently. Usually you guys will see start to finish every time, but I'm really just focusing on this first comic section, and I'm speaking through and I'm doing more. And guys, let me know in the YouTube comments what you think about this. I want to try a few different things out, and I don't think I'm gonna need to do every single one with you guys, because I've spoken through what I'm gonna be doing. So everything I've just done now, I'm just going to play out in front of you. I'm gonna change this background to this background. I'm gonna move this chair by copy and pasting it over here. I'm gonna have the same scene. The next thing that is important that I will show you guys, I'm gonna do now, is change these little facial expressions. So she's not looking down at the menu anymore. She's looking up at her buddy. And I'm moving it an eye at a time. I could have moved it together just like you saw me do with the sofa legs, but I'm not gonna do that because I didn't know like if I would align it properly. I kind of want to just do it by hand and by eye to see where we're getting at. Okay, I think the eyes are pretty lined up, but you know what I don't like as much? I don't like this cut off. I'm gonna see if I could do something quickly to make it a little different. No, not really. Is that better? It's a little better, but I don't think I like that shape. I think I'm going to just make it all round. That's the nice thing about these easy ones, right? These simple shapes with not a lot of detail. I can literally just make an ellipsis, put it in there, in the same place. And what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna completely finish this. I'm gonna completely finish this scene 1, and then I'm gonna talk a bit about the other one, like I'll fast forward through the video or show you some clips of it more put together. Possibly I might also put the finished result at the end, probably. I haven't decided yet. And then just kind of have a little conclusion about it, but I won't show you every single scene. So we should be on, but let's check, the same layer. Whoops. And another way to exit isolation mode, right click, exit isolation mode. We should be on the same layer. Yeah, I think we are. Yes, we are. As you see, there's 2 blues, so it's not always easy to tell the layers here and here. So what I'm gonna do is, because these are grouped, I'm gonna have to go in isolation mode. I'm gonna go to arrange and bring to front. Simple enough. And what I'm actually noticing with these COVID ones is it's a little harder to show expressions. I mean, it makes sense because a mask is covering half the face, but see here how she looks? That's perfect. Like, you could tell it's like calm. She seems in good spirits. Here, it like completely changes her disposition because I can't see her smiling face. So I'm gonna look into how to do that better. It would be easier if I had more details, because I might even have like little smile lines around the eyes around here. But I guess you guys will see how I problem solve around that. For now, I'm gonna focus on other stuff. I'm gonna change her hair. I didn't mind her keeping the same dress, but I think we're gonna change her hair out. And some of these are grouped to each other. You just saw that, took out like 2 chunks. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go here and I'm going to move this around. That works for me. Maybe I'll bring them up to the same level. Also works, all right. Gonna get a handle here, round it out a bit. That is useful. These guys, you just tug on them. Great. I think I'm gonna have to change her hair color because it's harder for it to stand out. I mean, I guess it was a little swamped there too, to be honest, but yeah, this because it's like, it's pretty rich and it's pretty dark. Things can be swallowed in it, especially things that are not outlined. So I'm just gonna give her a perfect bun, because that's how your hair always turns out after you put in a bun, right? All right. But it does in cartoons, so that's fine. And I'm gonna make her hair blonde, just because. Oh wow, yellow as the sun. Okay, blonde. Still pretty platinum. Okay, 3rd time lucky. I know many people with blonde hair, and it's actually like usually dirty blonde or pretty brown. Hey, I think that's best. Okay, we got that one. So I'm gonna make it blonde just because it will stand out better. All the people in this world I guess they have a bit of a Simpsons thing going with, like, they don't have a natural skin color. But the difference is there's not like other races. Like in The Simpsons, you got like what? Black people, Indian people, the yellow people appear to be like white people. But everyone has a shade of skin. The only thing that I've been changing is the hair. We're just in this random world. I mean, I don't know what this world is. It could be like an alien world. Maybe that's why their skin is like this. Maybe we'll explore that one day. I don't know. So for you guys' sake, I'm showing you. I am saving it. Now, I'm using the latest Adobe CC, Adobe Illustrator CC Creative Cloud version, because I am subscribed. You guys might have older versions. You can just go Control S, saved, perfect. And the newer versions usually do autosave very well. I've noticed that. But just for peace of mind and just in case there's like some disastrous mistake, I would consider how you do that. I would consider saving regularly. And it is easy, just Control S. Okay guys, so this is like a good base. You'll see at the end, I'm gonna do some stuff, so I think I'm gonna have like a frame here. We're gonna do that, right? It's just a little homier, and it's what you may expect to see in someone's house. So I'm gonna have a frame here, and we could do this part together. I'm wary of the time because evidently I am more chatty when I'm doing it at the same time. And yeah, I do want you guys to see in depth like what I'm doing, but I don't want to be redundant or just tell you things that are unnecessary. But I want to chat, like I want to be casual about it. Because as you see, like especially what I'm seeing with this comic, it's all about the idea. It's all about your concept. Like, yeah, we're going to go through like good ways to execute these and little things you can do. So I'm arranging, bring to front, shortcuts. They're great to learn. That will be, I'll put a little more detail in that later. But look at that. So if we're just going to now see if we achieved what we tried to, I think we have. This guy, I'm still going to change his general look within a kind of waiter, casual, or a somewhat formal outfit, I meant. And by the end of it, hopefully you guys see it all come together. But we have transformed this setting into this setting. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of him because he's distracting me. But we do not need him. So we started in a restaurant. We changed this high top kind of restaurant seating and table set into like a more comfortable lounge area. We changed the colors that went with it. We changed the background. We put something more sentimental there. We changed the lady, like her arms were higher up in her original form, but we did change her positioning. We changed the setting, so we have water instead of drinks, and we're gonna change him. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. Let's keep exploring. Let's keep creating.